Welcome back to another episode of Questions and Answers. How many colonies can one man take care of? How many colonies can one beekeeper take care of? This depends on the man, on the beekeeper. And so this question cannot be definitely answered more than one can positively say how many acres of land one could farm. That has changed with technology, I guess, for farming. However, one beekeeper with little help in the busiest part of the season can usually take care of as many as 500 colonies. That's what this book is saying, if they are experienced. Colonies of bees, in order to produce good results, must properly be taken care of. 100 weak colonies not in good condition for producing honey by the time the main honey flow opens will not produce as much surplus as 10 colonies that are very strong in the very best condition at the time of the honey flow. So lots of stuff going on there. It's true. You could have 800 weak colonies going into the spring flow and not produce very much honey at all. So I guess this all just depends on your goals. You can have as many colonies as you want, but what is their condition? I use these pictures that I get off the internet as teaching aids. So, when you look at a picture like this, one of the things to note is that there looks like they're opening up tops so that they can feed sugar syrup, which is, a personal practice. Every beekeeper has the right to keep bees however they want. But what you need to notice is, what are the bees doing? If the bees are here, they're now out in blooms. So that's the one thing that I really look at is, every picture that you look at, where are their bees? Are they hanging around the beehive? That means something's going on here. That means they're probably hungry. They're probably nothing to eat, otherwise they would be out looking for it. So 4 limiting factors. So beyond the scope of that answer, 4 limiting factors to how many bees you can have. 1 is water availability. So this is huge. This is huge because the beehive is basically an incubator. It needs to be humid. And they can increase the temperature of the box with humidity. So if you don't have a water source, you can't have any bees. 2, blooms. You're limited by blooms. We can cheat a little bit here. That's not the right word. We can supplement or substitute blooms at certain parts of the year. We don't do that in our operation, but this is how you would supplement blooms. So you're not limited to have, thousands of colonies as an operation if you're willing to feed the bees while you're waiting for blooms. So everyone that we work with, that is a limiting factor because we do not feed. So blooms are a limiting factor of how many hives we can have at a place. Year after year, we should have more blooms since we don't feed and the bees are increasing the blooms. Third factor is workforce. So that is what they talked about in the answer. With limited help during the busiest parts of the year, if you guys are using Langstroths, doing your spring brood box flips, maybe splitting, maybe removing queens, definitely when putting on supers, when removing supers, those are the busiest part of the season. And then depending on what you do for wintering, maybe wrapping hives, those are really heavily intense times where things need to be done pretty quickly. So your workforce, how many people can you get to help you? At many of our places, the children are involved with all the inspections, so that we have a lot of workforce to help spin frames or pull frames, or lots of eyes looking into the hive. And then lastly, infrastructure. How much are you? Your limiting factor is how many beehives you can not only just purchase but maintain, manage, upkeep. Once you get into commercial beekeeping, then you're looking at maybe feed trucks, definitely transport trucks, forklifts, netting, all sorts of things. So how many can you keep? A lot of different factors. How many do you want to keep? In the comments, let me know. Thanks for watching.